navigating my career, navigating faith, navigating just trying to become that girl, which I think there's so many people that are on that journey right now. So, if this resonates with you, continue, stay along. Let's chat. Hello, my name is Kristen, and this is my channel with love, Kristen. Welcome to my channel. So my main focus for the channel is just being a young Black woman navigating my late 20s and just trying to embrace every point in the journey. And in doing so, I want to embrace every point with love. Every day is not going to be great. Every day is not going to be easy, but doing it all with intentionality of still trying to find some joy in the journey, knowing that I can't wait for my end destination to be the point where I find joy, to love myself throughout the whole process. And so that's what we're here to do. And I'm here to showcase every aspect of that journey. And so in today's yap session, I figured we could get nice and cozy. As you can see, I'm here in my bed, but we're just chilling, maxing, relaxing. Got some tea. I have some mango black tea, and we're just gonna have a little yap sesh. So as you can tell from the title, we're just gonna be talking about kind of where I'm at right now in life, navigating my career, navigating faith, navigating just trying to become that girl, which I think there's so many people that are on that journey right now. So, if this resonates with you, continue, stay along. Let's chat. So I have my iPad over here, and this is just to kind of keep me on some points that I want to get across. It's not necessarily a script because, like I said, this is going to be a little yap session, but this is just to make sure I don't ramble, which I probably still will. But I wanted to start off with my career. My channel has gone through so many changes. So the original thing was hair, and then it became PT. So I think right now I have a lot of people that have followed me because of that aspect of my channel. So becoming a PT, a physical therapist. And then now, like, in this aspect of just kind of figuring out what my creative thing is going to be. So I still want to showcase some of like me being a career woman, and my career is physical therapy, but I still also want to show like some of my life and where I'm going, where I'm at, but more importantly, where I'm going. And so, yes, I've been a PT now for over a year. Crazy to think about. I've been licensed now for a little over a year. So I graduated from PT school in May of last year. And then I passed my boards in July of last year. And so, now I've been working this entire time. Originally for a year, I was had a permanent full-time job at one specific clinic, which I think was good for me. I needed to learn, gain confidence in my patient care and treating patients. And obviously there's still so much for me to learn. It's only been, like I said, it's only been a year. But just for me to gain, like I said, the confidence in treating patients. And I've learned so much in that first year. Learned a lot about my style of being a PT, just some other things to like kind of look out for, gain some new skills. And so I was very happy, and I'm proud that I chose to be in a permanent location in my first year, just so I could have people that I'm with constantly that I can ask questions to, have a little bit more guidance with. It was rocky. Like, imposter syndrome was serious, was really hitting your girl hard. in those first couple of months. And especially because I was the only Black PT at my location. And so I was surrounded by white women. And not to say that they were bad or anything like that per se, but it's just different. Like, I would have had imposter syndrome, I think, period. But I think it was really kicked into high gear being that I was the only one. So navigating that space, especially coming from being at an HBCU grad program where I did get used to being around my people, even though I went to a PWI for undergrad. But for grad school, I, being in the profession, I got used to being around my people. And then my first job, I'm not around my people. So that was just something to navigate, being in that space, like learning to build the confidence of being a PT while also just navigating being in an all white space and how we come off sometimes, and like not letting that get to me of just like, okay, it's just you don't understand just how I am, like, as a Black woman. You don't necessarily understand those mannerisms, those things, and you take personal offense to it, and whatever the case may be. It wasn't a bad experience. Like, I did enjoy my time there, like I said, and I miss my coworkers. Like, we did have a good bond, but there still were those things of just like cultural differences that just made it hard. So kind of navigating all of that at one time was a lot, was very hard. There was like one time when I think the anxiety really got to me and I cried at work, but it was only one time. And I was just like, I don't ever want to do that again. And I would say since then, my level of cares has severely gone down. It has gone down a whole lot. I just feel like I am who I am, and I'm willing to learn, and I want to learn, and I want to be even better. But how you perceive me, that I don't care. I don't care. How I come across to you, I don't care. Because if I didn't say anything specifically to you that would make you feel some type of way, like you're just going based off of like, seeing me move and imagining in your head what it is that I'm doing, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with you. I don't care. In the beginning, I was definitely looking for a lot more approval in the beginning. Like, I wanted that external validation to know that I was doing something right. Now, I mean, it's nice to have it, but again, it's not like necessity for me, like how it was in the beginning. So with my career, I would say like that's a big thing that has changed. My confidence is a lot more. I think it's easier for me to make some rapport with my patients now, and all of that. So yeah, I did a year at that clinic, and I'm not gonna name it, but I did a year there, and it was good for me. Like I said, and all of my coworkers were amazing at their job, so I definitely got to learn a lot, and there were so many different specialties there, and everybody was just so smart, nerdy what they do. So it was good for me to see all of that, be around all of that in my first year. Now I am a travel PT, but I have chosen to do more of like a local travel instead of like a national type of travel PT. So the original thought was that I would do a local contract and then slowly like make my way out of the state of Maryland. But since then, God has just like put things on my heart that I just feel like I need to still be in the state of Maryland. I've chosen to just do more of a local contracting type of thing. But the agency that I'm with I think it's good because I am a W-2 employee, which means I get benefits. And a lot of travelers are with companies that don't necessarily give you benefits because you're technically a contractor. And so I have to like get all of that on my own. So I am glad that with the agency that I'm with, that I do get those benefits. Now with me being a local traveler, because I'm still in my tax area, I do get taxed, unlike those who are more so in like a national, like go to different states. They go outside of that like 50-mile home radius. Their money does not get taxed. Mine does. It is what it is. It makes it easier for me because at the end of the day, you still have to pay back taxes. Like the government's still going to get their money either way. So it's either you pay it, you either let them take it out on the front end, or you got to pay it on the back end. So that part doesn't really matter to me. I'm just glad that I have benefits and I don't have to go like through like a private insurance and stuff like that. So I'm happy with that choice. My first contract, actually in 2 weeks, I'll be coming like kind of close to the end of the contract. I did extend it, but I just it'll be with the same company, just at a different location that I've been at these past 3 months. So that part will be a little bittersweet, and that'll be like something to get used to, like especially like once you really start to like your patients. Just knowing like, you know, you're not going to be with them forever. So, you know, it is what it is. Like some you really grow accustomed to and you really enjoy liking them and working with them. And you're just really happy to help them reach their goals, see them get stronger. And then there are others who, you know, with all patients, you want to help them reach their goals. There are just some that it's easier, like just personality wise, it's easier to work with. And some you just really have to like, you know, navigate. I enjoy it. I make more money, which is nice. I have a lot more freedom travel wise because I can just kind of plan things and then tell my recruiter like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this trip, so I'll need to take these days off and, you know, put that in the contract. So that's really nice. It's a thing of like I have to ask to get like to see if it'll be approved if I get this time off type of thing. So that's really nice. That's really what drew me to travel, like flexibility of schedule and more money. That's the main thing. So for me I'm happy to be a local traveler. That the two things that I really wanted out of work, I have. And then I can also like ask for how I want my schedule to be. At the end of the day, these are clinics that are in need of a PT. Now, of course, they can always say no, and that's fine. And I'll just look for another one. There's a bunch of PT clinics that need help, you know? So it's okay. It's okay. It all works out. So it's still waiting back to hear for a contract in the new year, but at least I'm secured to the end of the year, and everything will fall into place. Everything will just fall into place like how it does. And so, yeah. So career-wise, we've been good. We're making money. You know, this first contract, I think, has definitely like pushed me, but it's more of like, okay, this is like honestly what a lot of mainstream PT clinics are like. And I'm kind of glad that I get the space to kind of bounce around. So I give myself the space to have breaks, because I think if I was at the clinic that I'm at now, I definitely would get burnt out. It would be a lot to like navigate and handle like every day without ever seeing a break in sight. That would really get to me. That would get to me. So I'm glad that I have the opportunity to be flexible with my schedule, to give me the break so I avoid the burnout. So I'm really, really happy about that. So that's kind of all the things in the career aspect. And if you have any specific questions for me when it comes to PT, I definitely do want to do like more things surrounding my new PT space and what it is that I want to do, because I'm not necessarily I started off doing the traditional thing, but now I'm not in the traditional thing. And I don't foresee myself in this career being traditional. Like I don't foresee I'm not at one clinic for 20 plus years. I don't foresee that being my reality. I also don't foresee PT being my main and only source of income. So There are other things that I want to do, more things that I've been thinking about, still trying to figure out what I want to do in the specialty aspect. Not that I have to specialize, but just like, what do I really like? What in this field really pulls me? What drives me, you know? Like, I really thought it was going to be neuro. I thought I was going to be the neuro girl. And I do love neuro. I still do. But I don't love it as much as I thought I did. Not for it to be the only thing that I see every day. And then I've just other things that I've thought about. Like, I've been thinking a little bit more about pelvic floor. Yeah, mainly pelvic floor has been the other thing. So neuro and pelvic floor have kind of been the two things that I think I've thought the most about. No other. Ortho has been also, surprisingly, I've been liking ortho a little bit more, but I don't know if it's because I find it to be just a little bit easier than the other two. I haven't done much in the pelvic floor space because you do have to like take special classes or anything like that. It's just been something that I've been thinking about, but being that at my first clinic, there was pelvic floor as a specialty there. So got to see a little bit of what they do when they are treating that population. And so I think that it is cool, especially because I also want to get certified in Pilates. And a lot of what I saw them do was them integrating Pilates within it. Now I think that I could find a way, like even with just regular ortho or even with neuro, to add in like little aspects of Pilates and things like that. But I don't know, we'll see. So still just figuring all of that out, but taking you guys along the journey as I figure out what it is I want to do in this field and how I want it to work for me. Like, it's really easy to get burnt out in this space. Very, very easy with how a lot of our clinic systems are set up, especially in the outpatient ortho world. It can be really easy to get burnt out. And so that's why I don't necessarily want to do the traditional thing of being stuck in one clinic. Yeah. The first clinic that I was at, the schedule and the way that it was set up, I would say it was a good schedule, and I would say it was more on the rare side, but I do think that things started to pick up as I was leaving, and a lot of changes were happening that I wasn't necessarily in love with. So I think I got out like at the right time. But even where I'm at, like, we schedule patients on the 30 and we double. So it can be a lot. I've definitely learned how to multitask even more. Like, I already knew how to multitask because in this field you kind of need to know how to do that and plan and all of that stuff. But yeah, like, that's kind of what I mean when I say it has pushed me more. So I would say that, yeah, that is kind of all the things in the career realm of whatever. Like I said, if you have any questions for me, if PT is where you're going, your jam, even if you have questions about PT school, since I'm still pretty fresh out, you can ask me in the comments below. I'm definitely willing to chat it up with you about that. But now we are going to move on to the next thing, which is, now I want to talk about my face, becoming that girl, my transformation diaries, all of that good stuff. Yes. So this year has been more of a transformation year in a way, but it started off with like very little baby steps, and now we've picked up some better habits. Still some things that we need to figure out, but some better habits than we had before. Through PT school, I gained about 50-ish pounds, maybe a little bit more than 50 pounds, just due to sheer stress, not really moving my body and eating my anxiety and my stress. And so this year, like kind of last year, it was like I wanted to start, but I wasn't really sticking to nothing consistently. And I had started Pilates actually last year, and I was very finicky with my Pilates. Like, even though I was paying all that money, I was still like not showing up to classes really, for real, because I was trying to figure out my schedule, and I thought I could do evening classes. I'm not an evening class girl. I gotta do a morning class. I have to, especially during the week. Gotta do a morning class. I'm not an evening class girl. So we were kind of, but not really doing much, working out, getting the body moving last year. But this year, at the top of the year, I really did want to do things differently. Was I consistent with my movement? More than I was a little bit in the past. And it was just baby steps. Like, you know, for me, doing twice a week of working out, that was, you know, that was pretty good for me. And then eventually we built up to 3 times a week. And then 4 times a week. So it was baby steps, very slow weight loss. Like at the beginning of this year, what I have written down in my planner when I was like really keeping track of it, I was 209 pounds. Now I definitely want to believe that last year I was for sure like at 214. And I did talk about that I talked a little bit about it in my vlog, which you can hit the little banner. I'm gonna have a little banner going up. You can watch my vlog that I just posted last week. But yeah, so at the beginning of the year, I was at 209 pounds. And now currently, the last time I weighed myself, which was at the beginning of this month, I was at 190 pounds. So we're down like basically 20 pounds, which makes me really, really happy. But it was a slow progress. And typically it should take like 11 months to lose that. But I needed to build the habits. I needed to build the routine. Because I was not consistent with working out. Like, it just wasn't something that I did, and I had to make it more of like a habit for me. I would say now it is. Like, I'm pretty good with working out, getting my movement in. And even if I have an off week, I'm still like, okay, I need to work out. Like, or if I have an off day where I'm just like, okay, I have to listen to my body. Today, we're just not doing it, but we're going to get back on it tomorrow. Whereas past me, it would go like, you know, I'll be good, then I'll stop. Like, something will happen and we fall off. We don't get back on. But this year, like, there's been a lot of things, like very odd series of unfortunate events that have like happened to me that in the past would have completely knocked me off track. But this year, I haven't allowed it to knock me completely off track. Maybe it might knock me down a couple days, but then I'll get right back on and we'll get right back to it. So yeah. So I'm very proud of myself in that aspect. And it's been a very slow process, but I think the slow process is what's good for me. Because I'm now able to sustain, like, I've really made moving my body a habit. That was something big that I needed to do. Now there's a lot of other areas of my life that I still do need to get on top of, okay? Like, when it comes to my eating, that I think is what's been holding back. If that's what's making the weight loss more of a slow process, is my eating habits really, really aren't the best. Like, I do love to eat out and I kind of eat whatever. And so this month for me, I was really just like, I want to be intentional with eating out on the weekends, cooking food to eat during the week, and no coffee. Because last month I was going crazy buying the coffee like every day. So I said we need to calm down on that. And so I was just like, no coffee, no sugary drinks. So really just water, tea, and protein shakes. Like, those are the only liquids that I can consume, and I only will allow myself ginger ale if I'm really having like a stomach ache. Not something that happens often, but like if I'm hurting real bad, the stomach is really hurting, then I will allow myself to have ginger ale, because ginger ale helps calm. I don't know. It's probably placebo, but it be feeling like it works. the ginger ale when you have a hurt tummy. It be feeling like it works. So, I don't know what's going on with my nose, like why it's a little stuffy right now. So I apologize for all the sniffling. But yeah, so we've been working on that. So I'm still like working on the diet and portion thing, but I do think like another aspect is I would kind of just eat out of boredom, eat out of stress, and trying to reframe my brain of no, just eat when you're hungry. Ask yourself when you're about to eat something, are you hungry? Or are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating because you're stressed? Like, why do you feel the need to eat if we're not hungry? Only eat when we're hungry. Only eat if you're hungry. And then on top of that, only eat till you're satisfied. Don't overstuff yourself. Have there been times I have overstuffed myself? For sure. But just not making that a daily habit and really like trying to only eat when I feel hungry, not anticipating the hunger, and like being like, well, let me just eat right now because I'm gonna be hungry later. No, just bring it with you. And if that becomes a thing, like, then you will eat it then. Have I been 100% perfect with that? I definitely have not. But just reframing my mind around my relationship with food, I think has also been helpful and something that I'm still working through and working on. Yeah. So in this transformation that I've been kind of going on throughout the year, those have been some big things. Like moving my body has been something really good that I've been working on and I've been doing very well at. Here and there, I'll have some good days, have some bad days when it comes to me and food, but I don't want to completely restrict myself on things. It's just more of like portion control and knowing like, okay, yes, you can have like your fun with some food, but let's also like make sure we're fueling ourselves with like a lot more good things than the bad things. And I know I see a lot of people do like the 80-20 rule, like 80% you're eating healthy and all of that stuff, and then 20% of the time you're allowed to have like, you know, that those sweets and that other stuff that, you know, we all love and enjoy. Not a 50-50, it needs to be an 80-20. So 80% of the good, 20% of the not so good but tastes so good. So just trying to kind of do that and still like reframing my mind when it comes to food. And other aspects of this transformation journey, my faith in God, and really just trying to be obedient to him. Like since the beginning of the year, I've just been like, I want to be obedient and I want to do your will for my life. Like whatever it is that you want for me to do, God, I want to be that vessel, because I feel like I've struggled so long in the past with one, just my relationship with God. Like I'll be on and then I'll be off, very hot and cold. And I didn't want to be hot and cold. Like I wanted to be just, you know, on for him. And do I still have a lot of growing to do? I sure do. But I've been very good at like doing my devotionals every day. And I've been, you know, just been trying to do my devotionals every day. Sorry, my dogs are barking because the family has come back home. But yeah, so just growing in that aspect and just asking God, like, what is my purpose, vision, and all of that stuff. And I feel like he's given me vision and I have ideas and he instills the ideas in me. It's just about me being obedient and executing what it is that he has. And that's like something that I've really wanted to work on too. And I think in a lot of ways I have like fallen somewhat short, because I do think that a lot of some of the obstacles that should have knocked me down and, you know, the working out aspects of life, I feel like he put those in my way to see like, well, are you still gonna, when life comes at you, are you still going to push through? Are you still going to do the thing that you said you were going to do? And so when it comes to like this channel, the With Love brand, I feel like that is something that God has placed on my heart to make a thing. Like I feel like, you know, I see it, there's the vision for it and all of that, and so I need to do my part of being obedient to him and executing it. Another part of that has been now taking on leadership with my church and leading like the dance ministry. Very, very new. Still have a lot. It's very, very new, very, very fresh. But just doing that. And so really just trying to be obedient to him. And I've kind of shifted now to a point of like throughout the year, I've been just being like, God, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What is the purpose for my life? Like, what is this? What is the vision that you have for me? Where do you want me to go? And I feel like he's planted a lot of ideas in my brain, and that's the vision. And it's more now of just like, okay, I've been giving, like, he's telling me, like, I've been giving you stuff. Like, I've been giving you ideas. You're not seeing it because you're not acting on them. So now is the time for me to act. Now is the time for me to execute. I feel like God gives so many of us plans, visions, and ideas, and we don't act, and we don't execute. And I'm literally talking about myself. And so, and what good does that do if you hold that in? That's being disobedient to God. That's something that will make God upset. Like, he has planted and put inside of you gifts that he wants you to share with the world, and you're holding on to it and you're holding back out of whatever the case may be. Now, for me, I think it's fear, and I don't know why there might be this fear for me of success and all that I can be. I know, like, I feel deep down in my heart, like, I know that I'm meant for bigger. I know, and I feel it. Like, I feel it that I am just meant to do big things, and that there is an anointing on my life. Like, I feel all of that, and I have to act. Like, I can't just sit back and wait for it to happen for me. Like the Bible says, faith without works is dead. I can't just keep believing that God is just going to make this thing happen, make some path for me, without actually putting in the work and executing the plan and executing the visions. He'll make the way, but I have to also start the process of taking the steps and walking into the path that he has for me. I can't just stand at the front line and wait for him to just push me there. No, I have to take the steps and actively go through. So that's like really what I'm working through now when it comes to my faith, when it comes to trying to be that girl, is just acting and executing. And I think that as I end out this year of 2025, my word for the end of this year is execute. Execute. Do it. Do it scared. Do it, however you are, however you come, just do it. Put it out there and be consistent with doing it. Whatever you say that you're going to do, when the vision, the plan, the purpose, you have it, you know it. You have it and you know it. Do it. Just do it. Do it like Nike. Just do it. That's going to be my word, not just for the rest of this year, as we are now we're halfway through November. Crazy. It's November 15th while I'm recording this. Crazy. We're halfway through November, and we just have the last month of the year, December. But executing the rest of this year, and my word for 2026 is execute. I'll be 29 next year. So I'm literally going to be at the end of my 20s. And so what I want to bring into my 30s is me being the woman that has started the process. I know I'm going to go so much further in life and do so much more, but I want to set and start that foundation now. I know that in my 30s, I can do a whole lot more, that I'll be a whole lot more, but it all starts with the steps that this version of me, this current me, takes. And so that's what I'm doing now. Really just trying to stick to my word of being consistent with my channel, being consistent with the things that God has placed on my heart, and executing. Everything's not going to be great. Everything's not going to be 100%. Everything is not going to be beautiful, but we did it. We put it out there. And that's the first step, because eventually the more I do it, the better I'll get. It's just like with me being a PT. Like when you're in school, you're doing clinicals and you start to get some of those reps in, and then you become a PT. You're not going to start off great, because in the beginning, I think I wasn't that great to begin with. I still have a lot more to learn. It's still a lot more to do, but I'm a heck of a lot better than I was in the beginning. And that's all because I have I've gotten so many reps in of working with patients. Now I've had a whole lot more patience. I've had a whole lot more practice. And so I'm a lot better. Can I continue to be better? Of course, there's still so much more for me to learn. I'm still at the very beginning. Like, this is just the beginning for me. So there's still a lot to learn, but I'm a lot better now than I was a year ago. And I'll be even better next year and the year after that. And so when it comes to this, I know like these videos that I start off with, they're just going to be okay. They're going to be okay. And I think they're going to be good for where I'm at now. And the more I do it, the better I will get. It all just comes with the reps and the repetitions, but you have to start somewhere. You're not going to be amazing the minute you start, but you will at some point. You will get there. But it's all about being amazing with what I have right now. And so that's where we are. So for me, when it comes to becoming that girl, it's about living in my truth, going through this journey called life, and loving me at every step of the way with all of my imperfections and everything that I am good at. So yeah, I hope that this video, this yap session, resonated with you. A little chill, little nightcap yap session of me, my life, where I'm at, where I'm going, and things I want to do. And if any of this resonated with you, I hope that you stick along for the ride, for the journey, for wherever this goes. But again, if this did resonate with you, I hope that you do stick along for the ride. And you know, if you want to continue to see it, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you. I'd love for all of us to journey together, and do it with the utmost love and utmost respect for ourselves. We give so much love to everybody else. We respect everybody else. We push for everybody else, but now it's time to push for us. And I'm ready. I hope you are too. So again, if you would like to be a part of this, hit that subscribe button below. Comment if you are on your own journey. And I hope that we can journey together. With love, Kristen.